valid do you think this excuse is?
Well, clearly it's valid because it was a legit injury. I mean, we just actually saw it on tape. This is not a phantom injury. That we actually saw LeBron go to try to get a rebound and steps on Jackson Hayes' foot. He rolls his ankle. We saw that. That was not make believe. A lot of times, when he said his ankle, they said his knee swole. They was like, well, I don't see where did it swell. I didn't see him bang his knee. I didn't see him hit the floor. I didn't see him bang knees with someone else. Why did it swell? Okay, you didn't want to believe that, but we saw the man roll his ankle. We saw that. And so that was a legit reason. Now, I'm not so sure that even if he hadn't rolled his ankle, the way the Lakers were playing, they were going to make the playoffs. But you say, you know what? Let me try to give it a go. And what the greats can do, Skip, is that even through injury, we saw Isaiah Thomas on that badly sprained ankle in the fourth quarter. You remember that? I think it was that the 80? That might have been 88.
I was there. Game 6, 1988.
Okay.
Fabulous forum.
Yeah, and I think when he scored 25 in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, but it was midway through that he turned it. He'd already scored 14, and he came back right off the big ankle turn to score 11 more for 25 total.
Right. And so so we've seen guys give out Herculean performances even after a bad injury. And so for me, it was Skip, I'm not going to say that's the reason they didn't make the play-in tournament. Because they had, 70-plus games before that injury happened to put themselves in position to be where this game didn't even matter. You should have been in a position that LeBron could have taken 3-4 games off, and you still be in the playoffs. That's what should have happened. But it's a legit reason, Skip. LeBron turned that ankle. We saw him turn his ankle. And although he stayed in the game and played well, that doesn't mean that the ankle wasn't hurt. We've seen guys do something, be it shoulder, be it an ankle, be it a knee, play in the game, stay in the game and play well, and then come to find out they probably shouldn't have played and they're not able to play moving forward.
Okay. Here we go again. I have lauded and applauded LeBron James 1,000 times on this and other shows, dating back, what's he in, year 19? 19 years. About his durability. He has been Iron Man. Mm-hmm. We've seen more and more little injuries add up to bigger injuries lately. He's human.
But they've been freaks, Skip. If you look at the groin, you remember the groin on Christmas, a little wet spot, he does the split, hurts his groin. Solomon Hill dives, high ankle sprain. He steps on Jackson. It's not like, Skip, an injury where an ACL, not glad that didn't happen. But it's always these freakish accidents.
Seriously. I do not exaggerate. I'm pretty sure I've watched every dribble of every LeBron game he's ever played. It's just what I do. It's my job. Mm-hmm. And I have watched him over time roll his ankle similar to that.
Yes.
Dozens of times during games and stay down for 30 seconds and hop right up and go right on like nothing happened. Mm-hmm. I'm sure it's a little sore the next morning, but he just goes on.
Right.
You know and I know. We've talked about it. Game 6 of the bubble finals, a crucial game. It was the closeout game. I believe it is either 5 or 6, but he rolled it. Mm-hmm. And I thought, oh, my God, that looks like a problem. And he jumped right up, and it was no problem. So that's my history of watching him. Obviously, when it comes to injuries and what one man's pain is, I can't feel it. I can't know it. It's hard to dispute it. I can only eye test it. So to your point, I tested Isaiah in Game 6, 1988 finals, that the Lakers finally beat the Pistons in, after the Lakers had beaten my Dallas Mavericks in a Game 7 at the Fabulous Forum. Magic took Roy Tarpley in that game, but they prevailed and won the finals. Okay, so the point was that Isaiah did badly turn his ankle, and I was sitting courtside, and I could just see the pain on his face, and I'd covered.
Well, you see him limping up and down.
That's what I'm saying. But first I saw the anguish, and then he could barely move.
Right.
He was having a hard time. His mobility was severely limited, and how he scored 11 more points in the third quarter, I don't know. And the game turned on a very controversial foul call on Lambeer at the end of the game that sent Kareem to the free throw line. I don't know what it was, but it was phantom, and it worked, and the Lakers prevailed. And then in Game 7, Isaiah ended up playing low minutes, like
Yeah, he
20-odd minutes, but he couldn't go. He scored 10 points.
Yeah, the ankle like the size of a cantaloupe.
He was really limping in Game 7. Okay, now back to the game of the year. I know it's pathetic that it came to this, but it was the game of the year versus New Orleans at the Crypt Friday night, going back a week ago. And just eye testing, I couldn't see any limp. I'm just eye testing. I don't know that it wasn't hurt or was hurt. I just don't know. But I want to show you what LeBron James did in the third quarter. He scored 21 points, and I'm going to show you all of them in a row. Show me, tell me, help me. Do you see any limpy? Do you see any wincing? I can't. This is LeBron James. This is the most he scored in a quarter all year. He scored 21. Boy, he's making his free throws. I like his new routine. And he's hopping on the ankle, bouncing as he makes the three. And here he's just careening. That was precarious. You'd think, would that hurt it? No, apparently not. And, boy, he's making a lot of free throws. Like that new routine. Much improved. And here he goes, and he's bouncing and making another three. And this is pretty dangerous on the ankle, but I don't see any limping. I don't see any wincing. I don't see any grimacing. And way to go. Way to go. And there you go. That's right. 21 points in the third quarter. And then you and I both know what happened.
Right.
They're up 5 with 5 minutes left. And I said, home, James, just take them home. I tweeted it. And he couldn't. He scored 2 points in the fourth quarter. And if we can see again, you can sort of eye test the ankle. The last 4 plays that he made, last 3:19 of the game, he shoots the fade away. It looks like his ankle's not behaving badly there. And then that was a bad idea. Turnover. And then I don't know what this was. I think he just didn't want to have to shoot the free throws, but he said he got hit in the face. And then he made 3 sweet moves to get the pretty open look for a three, and he airballed it. And is this where Brandon Ingram yelled at him, LeBrick? Okay. All right. I'm just showing it because that's all I have to go on is eye test. And it's just hard for me to believe that he said I shouldn't have played in that game when he scored his season high for a quarter, 21 points in the third. You can see it differently. He's talking about it differently. He's saying I just flat out shouldn't have played, and that wrecked him for the rest of the year.
Right. But here's the thing, Skip. Tom Brady said he played the entire season on a torn MCL. Did you see him limp?
Nope, I did not. But the doctors always tell me, my orthopedic surgeon friends tell me, that the MCL is the one you can get away with.
Right.
And did you? I think. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You sprained it, or was it sprained or torn, or maybe both?
I had a slight tear, but I didn't need to repair it.
Okay.
It just healed on its own.
All right.
Because it was off season.
The ACL is the one that's for structural, stability.
Yeah.
And if it goes, you're done.
Right.
But the MCL, medial side, the inside, you can get away with it. I don't think it's comfortable. I think it aches.
Yeah.
And I think if you make a wrong move, it bites. But the ankle, was it tender? I'll give you tender. But I was just shocked that he couldn't bounce back after the 21-point quarter. They still had a shot, as you well know.
Well, I don't think the ankle bothered him in that game. I think moving forward, he said is where the problem was. Because I think he hurt the ankle did he hurt the ankle in
at New Orleans?
In New Orleans.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And he missed a couple.
Then he took some time off. He'd had about a week to get ready for the game of the year.
Right.
And then I'm thinking, okay, that was a huge game, but you're not out of it.
Right.
And you're going to go to Phoenix, and then you're going to go to Golden State, right? But we were already talking about he just lit up Golden State on March the 5th. He scored 56 points. And I'm thinking, okay, miss Phoenix and come back for Golden State. And you're still barely hanging in.
Well, once they lost to Phoenix and San Antonio won, it was moot.
Okay, it was. It became moot, but I thought the plan would be to try to go forward. And then, obviously, we'll talk about this in a few minutes, but the scoring title is still on the line. He's saying, no, I'm not going to stoop to do that. But was it because he was hurt? I don't know. But it's just hard for me to look back and give him the complete injury excuse for I shouldn't have played against New Orleans.
No, Skip. No. I don't. The injury excuse, I don't want the injury excuse is not the reason they're not in the play-in. it's not the reason why, because like I said, they had 75 games. It shouldn't have even come down to a playing situation.
Yep.
But I will buy it because LeBron James is probably one of the few guys that, I mean, he's probably wearing lows now, but for the lion's share of his career, he had his ankles heavily taped and he wore 3/4.
Yep.
A lot of these guys, Skip, they just, wear, AD need to come up out them lows.
Agreed.
AD need to come up. AD, you too big to be wearing low tops. I know it's cool, Skip. I know low tops are cool. Ooh, cool. Bruh,
hey,
you ain't trying to be cool.
They're lethal.
Yeah.
Seriously lethal.
You need to come up out of them, AD.
Yeah.
So get up out there, get you some mids, have them to make you some Kobe mids or something.
Or get you some highs.
He needs something.
Okay, so LeBron says, okay, I had an MRI. It's okay. I don't need any surgical repair. But then he says, I need to stay off it for 4 to 6 weeks. Well, obviously, he didn't show up in a boot on crutches.
Right.
So stay off it as in don't run on it.
Right, don't run. Don't be doing no basketball related,
Okay.
Because sometimes these guys, as soon as the season over, Skip, they take a week or two off and they're back in the gym.
Okay. But 4 to 6 weeks is a long time just to be careful on it.
Yeah, they'd be all right.
Well, I hope so. He looked all right to me on that
Skip, but
Friday night.
But guess what? This is the second year in a row he goes into the offseason with what? With an ankle injury. Remember last year he went to the offseason, high ankle sprain, dealt with that over the last couple of, and we see the same thing. Marcus Smart did the same thing to Steph Curry, what Solomon Hill did to LeBron. Dove for a loose ball, Steph couldn't get off him up under, and boom, here we are.
But that was knee threatening to me. That's like career threatening.
Well, LeBron was able to see him coming and got his foot
on
up.
Solomon Hill?
Yeah.
Again, I don't know if we have it, but Solomon Hill, I thought, pulled his punch at the last second.
But it was too late. He was already too late, Skip. He was already in the air. But
he tried to pull up.
Yeah. But his momentum had already. But look at this.
Hill play.
See, the momentum he had already. LeBron couldn't get his foot out the ground. That's exactly happened to me. That's why I got my knee. See, Skip. Yeah, he pulled up, but he's already on the man's knee.
Yep. And then LeBron goes right back down and makes a 3 before he goes out.
They're paying too much. So I can't deal with that.
Well,
but that's all right. We'll be back bigger and better next year. Revamp lineup.
You and AD and Russ.
Can't
wait.
See, you want Russ because
I do.
Russ. No.
I think they do.
No, they don't.
Box office.
Hold on. The man just said, you said, let Russ be Russ. Yeah. And he just said AD and LeBron, that wasn't true. He basically called AD and LeBron a lie.
They'll get over it.
Yeah, when he's on another team.
A lot of wear and tear on those ankles, guys. All right, great stuff.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.